Hello everybody and welcome back to another viewer game. Today we have Boyd of Zinj versus Prism. Now Boyd is our viewer. He's going in as an aerial specialist, Arclight, and Sledgehammer. If you guys want to submit your own viewer games, be sure to go to the description. You can see a link to the email there and simply post what games you have and I'd be happy to cast them. Prism ended up picking up the Marksman Specialist. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Marksman Specialist. I've talked about it before in many casts, but just to review it quickly, this Marksman is extremely powerful, yes, but it also gives out a huge amount of XP, and Marksman, after the recent nerfs, just don't have a great fire rate. If you're going for the Assault build, then having that level 3 Marksman can be very powerful, but in general, this guy can be overwhelmed by just a single unit of chaff, so I would not recommend this. Now, Boyd coming in as the aerial specialist, I absolutely love. I think it is a great specialist just because if you don't already spawn with Phoenix, you can make that transition at any point in the game. Perhaps not at the very first round. I would recommend you pick up chaff in the first round, but having having the ability to instantly transition to Phoenix as your main unit or sniper unit is fantastic because marksmen just simply don't cut it in my mind, at least currently in the current meta compared to Phoenix. Phoenix are just so much better. I like the pickup of Fang here. Generally speaking, when fighting enemy chaff killing, if they have slow chaff killers, i.e. Sledgehammers, you want to grab Fang. Sledgehammers and Arclights, it's better to have Fang against because they'll fire in on the Fang, they'll destroy the first couple of columns, and then they have a fairly long reload speed on the Sledgehammers, so it will take a minute or two for them to be fully destroyed. So having the Fang is pretty good, whereas the Crawlers tend to go in, group up, and then all get destroyed. I don't think Boyd has much of a chance here. That level 3 Marksman is just incredibly powerful at the beginning of the game. It does steal an awful lot of kills, though, from your own side as well. Let's see what we pick up here. Subsidized Mustangs for both players. Mustangs are a great secondary pickup. If you haven't already checked out the most recent tournament, there was a lovely comment kind of explaining why picking early game Mustang is so powerful. Just because it does shut down aerial units so incredibly well. Not only that, they just have great DPS, they have fairly good range. Like, there's really no reason not to have a couple of units of Mustang in pretty much every one of your builds. They just work like just incredibly well. Now, interesting choice here. Prism decided to opt for more tanks and Sledgehammers. That was probably a wise choice. Even though he picked up the subsidized Mustangs, he doesn't have enough chaff in my mind currently, and that's why we saw a breakthrough on the left where that level 3 sniper was not. But Prism definitely has enough chaff killing. Excuse me if I cough a little bit this morning. I'm a tiny bit under the weather, but I just worked my first 12-hour shift from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. and a little tired. That's okay. Prism picks up the Amp Core. Oh, really? Boyd skips. The Amp Core is widely considered one of the best cards in the game. Yeah, giving it to a unit like a couple of tanks, or even something like a giant is extremely useful just because the tanks and giants have huge health pools, so you're really getting your bang for your buck. I've seen a lot of people use the Amp Core on things like Mustang. It's not a bad choice because Mustang can split up, they can deal damage all around the map, they work pretty darn well. However, they don't really have much HP, so you're kind of losing that extra 75% HP on the Mustang. It's not saying it won't help them survive a little bit longer, but I mean, they'll still die in one shot for most things anyways. I like the pickup of the Stormcallers here. Tanks are fairly slow. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some Scorpions picked up as well, just given the way that these tanks are aligned. But I think that the Scorpions are a better answer than... Oh, really? I'm playing this at 1.5 speed if it looks like things are going a little bit quick. Not picking up the Supply Specialist here on round 4 is a little dangerous. Most games last... There's some Scorpions, yeah. Most games last round... I don't know, 10 rounds-ish. So actually coming in at round 4, that's a lot of extra dollar. Now, I am a little bit biased, of course, to my viewer, but also he did say in the email this shows off the power of the scorpions. So I really want to see how well these scorpions do. One thing I would advise is that you generally want one unit to kill one other unit type. So, hey, I have the Stormcallers to deal with the tanks, and then I have the Scorpions to deal with the snipers, so on and so forth. In this case, it looks like the Stormcallers are really being used here to deal with the snipers, which if these snipers become assault snipers, that's going to be dangerous. It's going to be very dangerous. Oh, looks like both players skipped there. Not a bad choice. Oh no, orbital bombardment here coming out for Boyd. Here are some wraiths. I think that's a great pickup here for Prism. Just because the anti-air is somewhat lacking by Boyd, wraiths have a big HP pool. Boyd opts for some wasps. Yeah, there's only really anti-air in the center, so 3 units of wasps kind of played around the flanks or along these edges could work extremely well. Let's see where he's putting those. Yeah, 1 on the flank. Do we have another? Or do we just have 3? No. Looks like they're just going to follow this in. Okay. And a missile. Double missile. Man, level 2 wasps have a ton of HP though. I don't believe there's enough anti-air here to deal with this, but the extra chaff is going to be extremely useful, as it will tie up the majority of these sniper shots for a very long time. Now this guy's dropping fairly quickly. I still don't think there's enough anti-air. No, not yet. Good pickup here by Prism. But with more chaff, I think Boyd is going to be in a better spot, as a lot of the anti-air is also tied up within these snipers. The units in the center aren't really much danger right now. Prism skips. Battleship for Boyd, a very expensive choice. He does have a little bit of extra money, but not much. Double Wraith here. Oh, interesting. The jump drive on these wasps are going to help a lot. Wraiths also pick up the armor enhancement, so almost none of the anti-air that's currently on the field will deal any damage to these Wraiths. This blocks 60 damage, and I believe the Mustang only do like 36 damage when they first start. Good positioning of these melting points, though. So this is what I talk about quite often when I say build your box. Having this chaff in front, followed up by another, I wouldn't call Mustang chaff, but large entity unit, and then another semi-chaff unit with these wasps is great because it allows this giant to be protected over time. Now this melting point will get directly on top of the Wraiths very quickly. The armor enhancement's basically useless there, and with that, the melting points, one gonna earn itself a level, both melting points very quickly. But they're protected. These Wraiths were right in front so that the melting points could instantly gun them down. Something that I think more players need to be aware of. Scorpions also got the field maintenance. Interesting choice. They do have a lot of HP, and the snipers don't have great DPS. Single shot or single target, not bad, but damage over time, not really. Skip here for Prism. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. If Boyd picks up the Lightning Storm, plays it on any flank, he's very likely to win the round, if not the game. As you get a little bit later, those cards become much more useful as there's just a lot more damage on the field. Okay, crawlers on the right. Ooh, wow. Very aggressive crawlers on the right. So I actually want to slow this down a little bit. I'm not in love with Prism's choice here. So he just spent several, almost 1,000, if not more, on upgrading these crawlers and playing 3 units of them. Why? You already have 6 units of snipers. And those upgrades would go a lot farther across 6 units than they do 3. So my recommendation is if you need chaff, play chaff. But probably you don't need to upgrade them, at least not double, within a very, very short period of time. If he plans on making 10 more crawlers, go for it. I don't love this choice though at all. I think having this many crawlers is or this many upgrades on only 3 units is a mistake. If he'd gone with another 3 units of Fang and then gotten those upgrades, that may have been more worthwhile as well. Melting points are back online, they're doing the right thing. They did not receive any upgrades, but I don't really think they needed it. Lightning Storm on the left did an incredibly good job of clearing this out. And you know what, actually? The Scorpions are very good at clearing chaff units, especially crawlers, because they tend to all group up right in front of it, and Boyd takes the win. Again, if you enjoyed these games, be sure to like and subscribe. Send your matches over to the breenjoeshow at gmail.com, and I'd be happy to cast them. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.